Mhm. Really easy. Yeah.
I hope we have a quorum tonight. There we go, Sergio.
I haven't heard anything from Laura. Well, we have 4. So.
I'm really suspicious of the EM guy that's up there. Looks like one of those Russian people.
Oh, geez. Mr. Chairman, I just want to let you know that Mike is going to be a little late. Oh, just kidding. See? Uh-huh.
Good evening, Mr. Nolan.
Good evening. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. I think we're just waiting on Laura Nunley. Doris, you said you couldn't hear anything. Can you hear me now?
Muted. Doris is.
Miss White? Oh, you're muted. I looked like you said you couldn't hear us. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us, Doris? We can't hear you. It doesn't look like you're muted.
Can you hear?
Absolutely, you sound great. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us? We can hear you. We'll get started in a few minutes. It doesn't look like we have any anybody out there in the public. EM, I think it might be Mr. Morin, Supervisor Morin.
Hey.
Do not see Miss Nunley. You want to call in? You want to call in?
I can't.
Can you?
I can hear her fine. She can hear us.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and let Doris dial in using her phone. We'll give her a couple minutes and I'll just go ahead and get started. We can visually see that she's here. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Board of Zoning Appeals for King William County. It is a little after 6:30, so I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll.
Miss Nunley? Mr. Tassinari?
Here.
Miss White? Mr. Nolan?
Here.
And Chairman Shoemaker.
Here. Thank you. Next, we have the review and the adoption of the meeting agenda. And just for the record, you guys should have received in your email amended agenda. I submitted some changes yesterday, moving the reorganization to the first order of business and added an item for the schedule, 2021 meeting schedule. So if there are no objections, I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Nolan. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Sergio seconded. Okay, anyone, all in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, the meeting agenda is adopted. Next, before we get to the reorganization, make sure that, Doris, I just want to make sure that you're good to go. Can you hear us okay? We can't hear you now.
You can't hear me?
No, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
was like,
perfect. You're
what?
good to go.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You know what? That happens to me every time I do is if something fumbles with Zoom when I have a board meeting at my job. I always run into something and it's so irritating sometimes. But anyway, glad
It
you got that ironed out. So the next, we'll go ahead and move on to the reorganization. And per the Virginia Code 15.2-2308 and the King William Code 86-663 of the Rules of Procedure, the first meeting of each year is considered the annual meeting, to which we shall elect a board chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. So we're going to start off and begin with the election of the board chairman. And at this time, I will open the floor to nominations for chairman.
I nominate you.
Was that Sergio?
Yep.
Okay,
You're doing a pretty good job.
thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We have a nomination from Mr. Sergio Tesneri for Benjamin Shoemaker for chair. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, can I have a motion to close the floor of two nominations?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, the nominations are closed. Since there were no other nominations, the chair is elected based on acclamation. And I just want to thank you guys. I really appreciate you having the confidence in me to continue to be chair. So thank you. It's a privilege to serve you guys.
Well, we thank you for doing such a good job.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have the election of vice chairman. And at this time, I will go ahead and open the floor to nominations for vice chair.
I nominate Mike.
Okay, we have a nomination for Mike Nolan to be vice chair. Do we have any other nominations? I'd like to go ahead and nominate Doris White as nomination. The only reason I do is because she had expressed some interest in actually wanting to be chair one day, and I told her I was going to nominate her for chair, and then she said she was going to shoot me if I did it. So anyway, I'd like to also nominate Doris White for chair. So we've had two nominations on the floor. Are there any other nominations? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion to close nominations. Hearing none, I'll go ahead and close the nominations. And the first candidate received the majority vote wins in this, since there's two nominations. Being that Mike was nominated first, we'll go ahead and take a vote. And Madam Chairman, if you could call for a vote for Mike Nolan to be vice chair.
Miss Nunley. Miss White.
Here.
Is that a yay for Mike Nolan or a nay?
Yay. I'll
Mr.
vote for him. He
Mr.
can-
Yay.
I'll go ahead and say yay too. That's kind of weird. I can't say nay. I actually nominated you, so I'll say nay. Okay.
Doris put a twist in it. I was going to vote for Doris.
I didn't know anybody
Well, thank you,
anybody
Mike.
else was interested.
That would have been a really weird twist.
That would have been a twist.
So do we actually have three people for Mike Nolan, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I caught three, okay. So Mr. Nolan, you are elected vice chair by the majority votes.
Cyrus, thank you for your vote of confidence, and thanks everybody else for your support.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next we have the election for the appointment of secretary. And I would like just to let the board know that I have a citizen from the 4th District, Yvonne Broadus, who has expressed interest in serving as secretary of the BZA. And for those who may not know her, she is very involved in the community and brings with her years of experience in commercial loan underwriting skills with Virginia Housing. So at this time, I will go ahead and open the floor for nomination for secretary.
Ben, was that a nomination for Yvonne?
No, just I wanted to give you guys, it can be, if nobody, I'll definitely nominate her. I'll go ahead and make that a nomination.
I'll second it.
Okay, are there any other nominations from the floor? Can I have a motion to close nominations? Okay, being I hear none, I'll go ahead and close the nominations. So being that there were no nominations, Yvonne Broadus is elected secretary by acclamation. Congratulations, Ms. Broadus. And if I could ask the Eric to unmute Ms. Broadus for the duration of the meeting, so as she will be acting secretary. I also want to just take a second on behalf of the board to thank Krista Cole for your awesome work and diligence in serving as our secretary during 2020, getting the meeting minutes together and the packets ready for us. So we really do appreciate your service, Ms. Cole.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for trusting in me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, we have the adoption of the Board of Zoning Appeals bylaws, referred to as the Rules of Procedure. There haven't been any changes since last year. So if there are no proposed changes this evening, I would entertain a motion to adopt.
I'll
I'll
make
make
the
that
motion to, go ahead, Doris, I'm sorry.
No, go.
Okay. Mr. Nolan makes a motion to adopt. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Ms. White seconds it. Ms. Broadus, would you call for votes?
Yes, sir. Ms. White,
Yes.
Ms. Nunley, Mr. Tassinari,
Yay.
Mr. Nolan,
Yes,
Chairman Shoemaker.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Broadus.
You're welcome.
Next, we have the adoption of the 2021 regular meeting schedule. Currently, it's the third Wednesday of every other month at 6:30 p.m. And if everyone is still good with these meeting dates, I would entertain a motion to adopt the 2021 meeting schedule to be every third Wednesday of every other month at 6:30 p.m.
go ahead, Doris.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion from Doris to accept the schedule as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Properly second by Mr. Nolan. Ms. Broadus, would you call for votes?
Yes, sir. Ms. White,
Yes.
Ms. Nunley, Mr. Tassinari,
Yes.
Mr. Nolan,
Yes,
and Chairman Shoemaker.
Yes. Thank you. Next, we have the review and the approval of the minutes from November 18th, 2020. Did anyone have any changes for those minutes? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a sec? Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Sergio seconds, and it is properly second. Ms. Broadus, if you could call the roll for votes.
Yes, sir. Ms. White,
Yes.
Ms. Nunley, Mr. Tassinari,
Yes.
Mr. Nolan,
Yes,
and Chairman Shoemaker.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Broadus. Now we have the public comment period, and the public comment period is for matters other than the variance request being presented this evening. Those who wish to speak concerning the upcoming variance request will get a chance to do so shortly. You'll have 2 minutes to speak and 5 minutes if you represent a company or organization. The public comment period is now open. If you wish to speak, please indicate in the chat window. Eric is our technical director this evening, who will be assisting us with this process. Okay. Eric, you see anybody in there? Okay. If there are no speakers present, we'll go ahead and close the public comment period. And we will now begin with the public hearing, variance request V-04-20, page, and I think it's Colamy. Ms. Graham, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. We had a variance request for reduction and the required setback from 15 feet to 2 feet in order to put a 24 by 30 metal outbuilding with a lean-to. I don't think they're joining us this evening. I talked with the owner. I asked if she wanted to table this or withdraw this. She basically said, I sent something 3 weeks ago. We did not get it by email. I asked her to send something again. She did not. So I guess we're holding the public hearing. Staff does recommend denial on this application. We received information from the health department that the proposed building would be right over top of their septic system and the drain fields. So they recommend denial of this until an alternative placement can be put down at the property that would give them a minimum of 10-foot separation from the septic system components.
Okay, are there any questions for Sherry? I mean, for Ms. Graham, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, and Ms. Graham, if I got this right, you haven't really received any written official withdrawal of the application request, basically just
Did
verbal?
not. I gave her the option of maybe wanting to table it to try to come up with an alternative location, but she kind of indicated that there was not an alternative location.
Okay. Well, I would say per the state and county code, if the applicant does not appear and the board wants to proceed with the information we have available, it is up to our discretion to do so. So my thought is if there's no objection from the board, I'd like to go ahead and just proceed. We have a recommendation from Ms. Graham to deny the request. Is there any discussion? Any objections?
I had some discussion and questions, but without the applicant, it's going to be difficult to get any information, unless perhaps Sherry might be able to answer one question. And that is, Sherry, the application suggested a 24 by 30 foot building with a 24 by 40 foot lean-to. And I've got to ask, did they mean to say that it's a 24 by 30 foot building with a 10-foot lean-to that's going to make it a 24 by 40? Or was that not clear to you either?
That was the information that they had given me. I did try to pull plans and I was not able to do so. Regardless, that's a mighty large building for the area that they want to place it.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns. Questions, Chairman Schumacher, but I don't know that we could move forward with any of my questions without the applicant.
Anyone else have any questions for Ms. Graham?
I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and vote on it if we can. And if the applicant doesn't want to show up, it can't be that important to him. And so I would make a motion to deny it.
Okay, if we could, Sergio, if we could hold off on that motion until we just, I know it doesn't look like there might be one person here for public hearing. I just need to make sure we officially ask for the
Sure.
record. So are there any further questions for Ms. Graham? Okay, let's go ahead and officially just go ahead and open up the public comment period for variance request B-04-20. Those who wish to speak in favor or in denial of the variance request may speak now. You'll have 2 minutes to speak and 5 minutes if you represent a company or organization. Again, Eric, will be assisting us with this process. So Eric, if you see anybody in there that's wanting to speak, let us know. Okay. All right, hearing none, I will officially close the public comment period. If the board feels adequately informed to proceed with the decision, I'll go ahead and move forward. Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to either deny or approve the variance request.
I make a motion to deny the request.
Okay, Mr. Sargio is made a motion to deny the request. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a properly second by Ms. Doris White. Ms. Broadus, could you call the votes?
Yes, sir. Ms. White,
Yes.
Ms. Nunley, Mr. Tassinari,
Yes,
Mr. Nolan,
Yes, so vote to deny.
and Chairman Shoemaker.
Yes, to deny. The variance request is denied. Thank you, Ms. Graham. Next, we will move on to unfinished business. And this is for the approval and the adoption of the 2020 Board of Zoning Appeals Annual Report. Has everyone had a chance to review the final changes on the annual report? And if so, are there any questions or discussions? Specifically, I'd like to kind of just chat a little bit about the 2021 goals, but I just want to ask you guys on the board if you had a chance to review that, if you have any comments.
I have just couple questions. Is the report going to the board from you or from the BZA? That's how I understood it. It doesn't read that way, but that's how I understood it.
I think there is, based on the state code, I know there's a requirement for the BZA to present an annual report to the Board of Supervisors. I'm assuming that's what this report is. And I just, if Krista or Ms. Graham could elaborate on that.
Once y'all approve this, then it will be forwarded to the board.
Okay, so this is the annual report for the board as required by state code.
Are you okay the way it's written, Ben?
I think
It doesn't read like you're reporting to the board of supervisors.
would we have enough time to make changes to this before the next board meeting? 20th.
To answer your question, it's enough time to make the changes.
What was that again?
I'm looking at the schedule. If it's enough time to make changes.
Okay. I don't have any objections. I think I do agree with your notice. The wording almost does sound like it's on behalf of the county, and it should, I guess, on behalf of the BZA. And that's what your point is, sir?
Yeah, it should be also a listing in the format that was sent by Olivia, where the listing of the board members of the BZA, not the employees or the staff of the planning commission or Sherry's staff.
Okay. And are you speaking of the letterhead or the paper that it gets put on?
The whole form is incorrect.
Okay.
It's not standard format. There's a reason for standard formats. You and I have had this discussion. So anybody can look at it, and the same information on this report will be located. Similar information needed on another report will be located in the same location. This is just standard business formatting. That's all. So I make a motion not to accept the report as it's written.
Okay, we have a motion not to accept the report as is. Do we have a second or any other comments?
Just a question, how would we move forward with amending or rewriting the report?
We
I'm
would
not
need,
saying we shouldn't, I'm just asking a process question.
we
Who,
would,
how, and when?
From what I understand, the format of the report, I guess, should be addressing the board members on the letterhead. Is that correct?
Yes, I sent everybody the template that Ms. Lawrence sent me. And if you look at the template, standard writing report format, it's just somebody took liberty on adjusting it to what they thought it was best. It's not the standard report format.
Okay. Would you?
I'll send the report. I'll send the template again if you'd like.
Okay, that would be good. Thank you. Yeah, I apologize. So we have a.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that, I don't know that they have ever submitted a report in
It was done last year, and I know it was done with
right.
Gene,
Okay.
Gene, what's his name? Can't remember. Last chair we had before you came on.
We can make the changes and bring them to the next meeting for approval.
I don't know what changes. I don't think.
Formatting on it.
Is the board okay with that? Make the. I think next year we'll try to, I think this would be a good opportunity for the BZA to get involved in actually trying to put that report together, gather the facts, put the format together, and then and submit it ourselves. But we thank you, Krista and Ms. Graham, for putting that together. So yeah, we would take you up on that offer. We would appreciate that. All right, we'll go ahead and I have a motion on the floor to deny the report as is, but to amend it to include the appropriate templates to be provided to us, and we'll relay that to Ms. Graham and her team, and then we can have it approved at our next meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Ms. Broadus, would you take the vote?
Yes, sir. Mrs. White,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunley, Mr. Tassinari,
Yes.
Mr. Nolan,
Yes.
Chairman Shoemaker.
Yes. Okay, also, while we're on this subject, there were some goals for moving forward. Did you guys have any questions about that? Does that seem reasonable? Any modifications or changes? It was under the section called moving forward. I had listed establish or participate 1 or 2 work sessions with the Planning Commission. Continue to actively participate in the zoning ordinance and comprehensive plan review process. Requests of the Board of Supervisors to allocate funds for continued BZA education, as well as legal representation for determination appeals. And by the way, on a side note, I do want to say the BZA education certification class that Mr. Nolan and Ms. White and Ms. Cole and myself attended was well received. I think we all received a lot out of it. It was a very well worth class. So thanks to the board for approving those funds on that. And then the other listing, I had work sessions to discuss what we've learned in the 39th annual BZA program certification. So if we can talk about those now, or if you guys had any additions that we could put in there before the next amendment. Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next item, update on the comprehensive plan and ordinance revisions. Ms. Graham?
Okay, on the comp plan, we've got a committee together that's going to get started hopefully next week. That is our plan. We plan to have a joint work session with Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors on the 8th of February. Mr. Hill with Hill Studio is planning to do a public forum in July, but that is also going to be based on COVID. We will keep everything updated on our website. And we plan to work throughout the year and should be the final draft ready for approval January of next year.
And you're referring to the comprehensive plan, is that correct?
Comp plan. Mhm.
Comp plan, okay. What, where do we stand with the ordinance revisions?
On the ordinance revisions, we're still on schedule with that. Final draft should go to planning in August, and the final draft go to Board of Supervisors in September. We just did a mailing with a flyer that gives all the information, and also with a survey. The survey is going to go back to the Berkeley group, and they're going to compile all the results, and that's going to help us further with the finalization of this draft.
Okay. I've got a question, while they're actually still going through the ordinance revisions, we have had several variance requests that deals with this lot size, narrow lot sizes. And I was just curious, maybe that would be something that we could share with the Planning Commission to take into consideration, that maybe there's something that is similar or common with all of those narrow lots, that they could actually create some criteria. We had learned a little bit about something like that in the class, where they can create a special, well, they called it a special exception or special class for these particular situations where there's certain ordinances, and then you have these narrow lots that that are kind of outside that criteria, could never match that criteria.
They are looking at the lot sizes and the lot dimensions. Currently, the lot sizes, AC, it's going to be 5 acres, 300 feet of frontage. Some lots, they're permitted to go to 150, depending on the zone and the location, whether it's a secondary road or a new subdivision. They are working on all of that. If you have recommendations, or if you would like to sit in on one of the work sessions, let me know. We can certainly make that work.
Sherry, did you say the work sessions have been scheduled?
We have one scheduled, a joint with the Planning Commission and Board of Supervisors on the comp plan on the 8th of February. We will have more joint work sessions though with the draft ordinance coming up. We just don't have them scheduled yet, but they are coming.
Would you let us know when that next date is? And I think that would be a good one for us to sit in on if any of the board is interested.
I think the next one is going to be the end of February, 1st of March, depending on availability. Berkeley wanted to get all of the survey results in and take a week or two to compile them and then bring those results in. But I will certainly reach out to let you know if you want to be part of that work session.
Okay, thank you. Did you have anything else for anybody have any questions for Ms. Graham? And Ms. Graham, did you have anything else for us?
I think that's it right now, unless you have any questions.
Ben, I apologize. I need some clarity on the annual report. Sarge, you just sent over what appears to be a transmittal, or is this intended to be the format for the report?
It's intended the format that I got from the county administrator's executive assistant. This is the template they use for standardized reporting. And it should be just an attachment on an email to you.
Right, and I opened that up and it's just a one-page attachment
That's just a
that has the
template.
appearance of a transmittal memo.
Yeah, you should just fill in the blanks. I don't know what you got, but I know what I have. It's just a template. And that's what I attached and sent to you just a few minutes ago.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So the memo template.
Correct. And that should, you'll see it starts off
So on the right-hand side, so,
should list us. Okay.
Okay.
Then it comes down and it should be the same thing. Subject matter on this report will be the same subject matter. It won't the same, but it'll be located on this report, the same report as any other reports. Then you go into a summary of what the report's about, like the consideration, any attachments you want to put in there, just standard report format.
okay.
Did that answer your question, Michael?
It does. I was just a little confused. You just want the info, or you're suggesting the information that is in the report just be put in that one page, what started as a one-page format.
Read the report. The report reads like it's coming from the county staff to us. It doesn't come. The report is actually from us to the Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
It's not, and I have no. It doesn't give me any pleasure to give this report to the Board of Supervisors. Okay. For the first word in the summary, it's no pleasure about it. It's just a professional report.
Okay.
Understood.
Uh,
It's just official. Makes it look all official. Right?
Anything that's done on these boards are for FOIA requests are requestable, and it's so Bob Earhart can get a hold of this report, and anybody else on the yellow sign Tea Party guys, and if they want to make an issue of it, they find issue with anything. So it needs to be stuck in a standard professional format for just only that reason. So Stephen Greenwood can see the same information located on this report that he sees on another report. He has some years of program management and doing documents for University of North Texas has got me this way. Okay.
Well, I think one of the points too is in the past BZAs, I don't know that they really realize that it's the BZA's responsibility to provide that annual report to the Board of Supervisors. I know when I first started, the first couple of years, I don't recall that ever happening. And even as chair, I didn't do it. So anyway, it might be an opportunity to do
well, yeah. We'll just say this will get it straight this year. How's that?
There you go. Thank you.
All right.
All right. If there is no other business before the board tonight, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor? I'll give our new secretary a chance to take the roll for adjournment.
Okay, Ms. White,
Yes.
Ms. Nunley, Mr. Tassinari,
Yes.
Mr. Nolan,
Yes.
Chairman Shoemaker.
Yes. Thanks, everyone. Y'all have a great night. And again, Krista, thank you so much for the work you have done this past year. We certainly appreciate it.
And thank you for this opportunity to work with this board.
Thank you, Ms. Bros.
I appreciate it.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
Good
Yeah.
night, everyone.
Good night.